Earth. Roughly 66 million years. A world where everything is king-sized. A world that is still ruled by the giant, terrifying lizards like the T.rex and others. In this world, somewhere in an enormous breeding ground in the pristine tropical zone, a soccer ball-sized egg hatches, and out of that comes an ugly little baby dinosaur weighing no more than 5 kilos. This is you, a baby Titanosaur, who is unaware of the monumental legacy of its species. You might think that is already too late for you because how is a tiny thing going to survive this brutal era? But hold your horses and look around you. More specifically, look above you. Your mama is so big that when she steps on a weighing scale, it says, "To be continued." Well, that's good news, or rather the best news if you think from the survival POV. It is the late Cretaceous period right now, and you belong to the family of towering giants who can be considered the true bosses of this world. You belong to the Titanosaur group, a subcategory of the sauropod class of dinosaurs, who are basically thick-thighed, long-necked vegans. As the word Titan in your name suggests, you are going to be enormous when you grow up, though there are some species under the Titanosauria group that can only reach the size of a school bus. Not you, though. You are not small. In fact, you were born as one of the biggest species of dinosaurs known as the Argentinosaurus. Well, you don't feel big right now, because no matter how large you are destined to be, your life begins humbly. You can only look in complete awe at the adults who can grow more than 100 feet in length and 60 feet in height, and can easily weigh over 70 tons, proving that one doesn't need to eat meat to grow big. Contrary to your mom, who is so big that she shakes the ground with each step, you are just around 3 feet in length right now, weak and vulnerable. Any predator can end your life in an instant, and you would not even be able to fill its belly. But fear not. Your parents and your herd have got your back. Well, they will try not to accidentally step on you before they can get to the part where they have to protect you. It doesn't take you too long after hatching to be able to walk. You learn by watching your family that you are a harmless plant eater, while the adults can use their long, graceful neck to eat juicy leaves from tall trees. Right now, you can only reach the grass under your feet. Your herd finishes all the greens in a region rather quickly and then starts searching for another region with plenty of vegetation and water. However, you can't expect adults who easily weigh 70 tons to move fast. Your herd can probably cover 2 to 3 miles per hour, which is still a pretty good pace. Their gait is slow but elegant, and their huge legs allow them to cover more distance with each step. You grow up really quickly, your size and weight increasing exponentially thanks to your diet that includes all sorts of plants without any discrimination, and your fast and efficient metabolism that allows you to digest everything and turn it into energy quickly. In the initial years of your life, you will put up to 2 tons of weight annually, but it will still take time for you to reach a respectable size. Till you reach the size where you can defend yourself, there is a constant danger to your life. Just because you are part of the biggest family does not mean that you have no enemies. You too have predators who have enough guts to chase after your herd. These are dangerous carnivores like the Giganotosaurus, who are around 40 feet in length and hunt in groups. These light versions of T-Rexes target you and other children of your age because obviously they have got nothing on the adults. It is the duty of the adults in your herd to protect you. With their long muscular tails, they can knock out any predator chasing behind them with one hit, and their spiny backs serve as shields to deter the enemies that attack from the sky. There are also giant crocodiles who can attack you while you are drinking water from ponds, and the only way to stay safe from them is to be alert. You are confident that with your herd protecting you, you have nothing to be afraid of, but you are forgetting that nature is cruel even to those on the top. You see some unfortunate siblings of yours getting separated from the herd and becoming lunch for the Giganotosaurus and other predators like Maposaurus, and you cannot do anything but avert your gaze from this horrifying view. This incident, however, makes you realize that you cannot take your life for granted. Your survival instincts become sharper as time goes by, and you stick close to the adults whenever danger presents itself. You keep growing rapidly because you don't fuss around when it comes to food. Since grass and leaves aren't all that nutritious, you need to eat a lot daily, but luckily, there is plenty of it since you live in a warm tropical climate. What helps your metabolic system digest the veggies quickly is your unique respiration tract. You have your nostrils relatively higher up your face, and you can store a lot of air inside your lungs to use it bit by bit. You don't skip leg day either, because honestly, with your ever-increasing body weight, every day is a leg day. This helps you in building up the strength in your stout and thick thighs that you can count on forever. In a few years, you will be the same size as most of the predators that scared you when you were a child, but you still have a long way to go. Time passes at its regular pace, and one day you find yourself at the doorstep of your teenage years. You are filled with the enthusiasm and mild stupidity that this age brings with it, so you form a small gang with other teens your age and decide to separate from the herd. Not permanently, though. You still remain close enough to them to be seen and heard occasionally. But But your parents are also glad that you moved out because now they can pay better attention to the new batch of Titanosaurs they have just spawned. A few more years, and now you have climbed the staircase of adulthood. You are now ready to find a mate and make some babies of your own. You are in your 20s, and you go to the breeding ground when it is the season for mating. Many herds assemble at these breeding grounds, and it is not that tough for a young, healthy, and big male dinosaur like you to find a mate. You quickly get on to do it in dinosaur style, but no one can be sure how exactly you manage to do it with your giant bodies. After you are done with the deed, the female will lay quite a few eggs in open nests after digging out the soil with her hind feet. All other females nearby do the same thing, creating a massive community nursery that will give birth to the future generation of Titanosaurs. Some of the eggs will fall prey to predators for sure, but there is strength in numbers, and a healthy amount of babies will survive to see the beautiful world. Now that you are bigger than any meat eater and still growing, you keep on living a carefree life with no natural enemies and no shortage of food and water. You keep growing in size till you are 30 or so, and you don't remember the time when all you could do was stare at adults with awe. Your kids are doing that to you now, and everything is going well. You have not only survived, but thrived in life, and nothing can take you down. Well, of course, until God decides to throw a pebble your way. One random day, you look up at the sky, finding some solace that there are still things beyond your reach. Suddenly, you see a bright star in the middle of the day, which strikes you as unusual. What is even more surprising is that the star seems to be growing bigger and brighter, and within seconds, it appears like a big ball of fire. You see it go north, landing thousands of miles away from your location, and you have no idea yet that this is the end of your glorious time on Earth. The meteorite that struck what would someday be called Mexico brings about a catastrophe for all living beings of the world. Dark clouds cover the sky for years, and the plants are the first to die as they stop receiving sunlight. The initial impact of the meteorite did not harm you, but the lack of food certainly does. The size that led you to the pinnacle of living beings is what leads you to your end too. You, who needed the most amount of food to live, are among the first species to go extinct, and the days when the world trembled under your feet are finally over. Millions of years later, humans will find your remains buried in the ground. The Titanosaur group's fossils will be found on all continents of the world, showing that your people were not just the rulers of one patch of land, but of its entirety. Humans will research your bones to predict your size and weight, your nature, and your behavior. They will find that you were the greatest land animal to have ever lived, but they will not know everything about you, so they will speculate till they find proof about their theories. They will be proud of their science and technological advancements that allow them to decode the past and think that their advancements will protect them from meeting the same fate as your people, forgetting that it takes just one small cosmic stone to end even the greatest of life forms in an instant.